Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to do a dirty pour. A dirty pour is basically just putting a whole load of colours in one cup and pouring it on the canvas and seeing where it goes basically. So it's quite a fun technique to do. Sometimes it doesn't turn out right and sometimes it does. So just going to give it a go today. What you need is I've got a protective sheet down here which I got from Wilkinson's, and I've got a really small canvas this is kind of good for practicing on, and then you can kind of go onto the big canvases, but just as a demonstration today I'm going to use a small canvas. It's not very thick, it's quite thin. I've got a whole load of plastic cups for mixing. I've also got my colours, so I'm going to go with these three and some white, and then I may put in some gold leaf after, just see what it looks like basically. I've also got some rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and this is good for creating bubbles and cells. And I've also got some, I think this is silicone oil. It says multi-purpose oil, but it does the trick for me. I just got this one from Poundland, and this is also good for creating cells and lacing effects. And then I've got some pop sticks from Tiger and some plastic gloves. So we're ready to go. Probably the colour I'm going to use the most of is white. So I'm going to pop this into a cup here. That'll probably be enough, so I've got some there. And also what I'm going to use to thin it out a bit, because when you do a dirty pour you want the paint quite thin, and this consistency isn't great. This is too, it needs to be able to run off the stick, and that doesn't. So I've got some pouring medium which you can get from, this is Liquitex and I got it from Amazon, and I just want to pour some, see it in the camera, pour some in there and mix it up till you feel like it's the right consistency. I'm actually going to add a little bit of silicone oil in this. So this will make it runnier as well. So just give that a good mix. I'm going to add a little bit of water as well, just until it's the consistency that I want. Okay, this is looking better. Really make sure you thoroughly mix it, because you don't want lumps of white acrylic on your paintings. Okay, so this is the kind of consistency you want. It's quite, so it's good enough to pour. That's good enough to pour. Okay, so I've got my white mixed. I'm just going to put that to one side. Next colour I'm going to use is this blue. This is probably the next most prominent colour I'm going to have in the painting. I'm just going to do squirt. You don't need much because again it's a really small painting. So I'll add a little bit of pouring medium in there. Just start mixing it up. And add a bit of water. The next colour I'm going to do is this purple colour. I'm going to add a bit of that. Okay. I'm going to add a bit of pouring medium. And in this one I'm actually going to add some of the alcohol. So you don't need much, just a little bit like that. Stir that one up. Thing is, you don't want it too runny or it will kind of just go everywhere, so just make sure that it will run off the stick but not too watery. Like this one's a bit too watery right now, so I'm going to add a bit more paint. And actually I think I'm going to stop with those 3 colours. I think the red might be a bit too much. So I've got my 3 colours ready here, and I'm going to get a spare cup, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour them into the cup. I'll probably start with some white, put some blue, and then the purple. And you can see it's already creating patterns actually in there. And then the rest of the white. So I think I'll probably have quite a bit left over. I'll just leave a little bit left over in case I need it. So that's my pot. I'm going to just do like 1 stir, not too much though. And then I'm actually going to add a bit of gold leaf. Okay, I'm just going to use a stick to put some in. You don't really need much of the gold because it's quite strong, and you can always add a bit more in after. I'm going to get my canvas here. I'm just going to pop a plastic cup upside down, put that on the top. Probably got enough too actually. And then just going to pour it straight on the canvas as quick as I can. Actually what I could do, put it on top, turn it over, and I'll just wait for all the white colour. There's going to be quite a lot of excess on this one, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to lift it off. We'll see what happens. There we go. So at this point I just like to let it spread out, do its own thing, and then we can kind of move it around once it's stopped moving. Just use your stick to cover the edges a bit just to help it flow. And you can start to see little bubbles all forming, which is quite cool. It takes time. Okay, so I've zoomed in. I've got some spare white here, which I'm just gonna pour along. Middle. And you can also like blow it to create techniques. So extra purple here. And I've got a little bit of extra blue here as well. and that's why it's always really good to have some extra left, just because you can kind of make these little touch-ups and kind of just, you know, make it look how you want it to look. Right here. What I'll do now is just add a little bit of the gold leaf. So, get it. You can just, like, this is just all a bit of trial and error. I haven't really planned this, I'm just kind of seeing where it goes really. So sorry about that, my camera just ran out of battery, but basically this is the final look. All I did basically was scrape around the edges just to get the excess paint off, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so here's some details up close. You've got the silicone oil, which has created those bubbles, and the isopropyl alcohol. I'd love to hear what you guys thought of this tutorial and whether you're going to try. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you all soon.